Well, we are back going over 15.1, going over your daily task assessment and your homework practice before you go online and take your online quiz. So again, we're classifying quadrilaterals right now, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the questions for the daily task assessment and then jump into the homework practice questions. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's read question number 12. And again, we're just using the logic. You can use your notes. If you have your notebook, your math notebook next to you, take it out, open it up to the section that deals with 15.1. You can use that to answer these questions. So while playing football after school, Jesse notices that the distance make marker contains a quadrilateral with one pair of opposite sides that are parallel. What type of quadrilateral? One pair. That's the key right there. One pair of opposite sides that are parallel. One pair of opposite sides that are parallel. Right here. And if you look at a rectangle has two pairs that are parallel. So does a square, and so does a rhombus. Okay, so if you know what how to classify these, that's how you are able to determine this one. And then you should already know that what a trapezoid looks like and its characteristics. The next one, Dean makes a pattern using 10 square tiles. Okay, so he has 10 square tiles. How many pairs of opposite sides are parallel in the 10 square tiles? How many pairs of opposite sides are parallel in 10 square tiles? So what you do, you get one square. Well, how many parallel sides, opposite sides do you have? Well, here's one pair, and here's another pair. So each square has two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. These two are parallel to each other, and these two. So if there are two pairs per square, you multiply 10 times 2, that gives you 20. Okay, again, simple. Use your logic and walk it through. Again, for the same one. Karina's using scraps of fabric to make a quilt. How many of the fabric scraps are in the shape of rhombuses? So rhombuses have all four sides that are the same length and two pair of sides that are parallel to one another. And a square does not have all four sides that are the same length, and this shape does not have all four sides of the same shape. And again, it is these two shapes that can be classified as rhombus. In this case, your square is classified under the rhombus because it has two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, and it has its four sides that are all equal in length. See how we're doing it? I hope you're seeing it. It just takes practice. It takes practice. You have to use the logic. Use the logic. If you don't know your characteristics for the shapes, it's going to be difficult. So once you have everything that you wrote down in your journals, in your notes, your math notes, everything, you just walk it through. What is a true statement about the quadrilateral on the right? So we're looking at this one. So let's walk it through. There is one right angle. Well, no, because we already know that this symbol right here tells us it's a right angle. So I have two there. Well, that can't be. There are four right angles. Well, there are not. There's only one, two. This is not a right angle, and this is not a right angle. If you want to know, this is an obtuse angle because it's greater than 90 degrees, and this is an acute angle because it's less than 90 degrees. The way I remembered it when I was young is obtuse was obtuse. It was huge. And acute, oh, it's so small, it's cute. So smaller than 90, it's acute. Larger than 90, it's obtuse. And of course, if it's 90, it's a right angle. There are no right angles. Well, that's not correct because I see two right there. Remember, the symbol right here defines a right angle in the shape. So let's go ahead and take a look at your practice. And again, if you look at the questions and just walk it through your logic. Circle all the words that describe the quadrilateral. So you have this one here. So if I look at trapezoid, a trapezoid will have one pair of sides that are parallel. A rhombus will have two pairs that are parallel, which this one does have, but it has all four sides equal length. So a parallelogram falls into this shape here, and a rectangle falls into two pairs of opposite sides and four right angles. Okay. The next one, we should already be able to see this one right now. You only have one pair of sides that are parallel. You have no right angles. Each one of these has right angles in them. So it's a trapezoid. Notice what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm just walking through the logic of what I know about these. Okay, so you're going to write all or some to complete the sentence for 3 and 6. Some rectangles are squares. Okay, we've already discussed that earlier when we walked through the guided practice. Some rectangles are considered squares because it has the characteristics. Some parallelograms have all four sides that are equal in length. Not all parallelograms have all four sides that equal. And if we look at this one, it does not have all four sides that are equal in length. You only have two pairs of sides that are equal in length. Okay, all angles of a rectangle are right angles, and that is true. Here's a rectangle, all of them for a rectangle are right angles. Some trapezoids have two sides that are equal length. Here's one trapezoid that does not have two sides that are equal length, but some do. Okay, notice, and you could draw it. If you take a look at this shape here, that's not a very good example. Okay, where are we? Number 4. All right, number 6. Some trapezoids have two sides that are equal in length. So you could have this one extended a little bit more, but you won't have two pairs of parallel lines. The next one's I'm a polygon. Okay, so you have to know the characteristics of a polygon that has two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. Two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. Now I already know my trapezoid does not have two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel. It only has one. So I can scratch out, and then the rest all fall under that condition. Two pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, and it's a polygon. It has four sides. Okay, and you know your definitions for each one. The next one's I'm a quadrilateral that has four right angles. My opposite sides are parallel and of equal length. And that's this shape right here, a square. It's a quadrilateral. It has four right angles. Okay. And my opposite sides are parallel and equal length. Parallel, equal length, parallel, and equal length. Again, if you use your notes, the logic falls into place. Okay, number 9. It says Letty makes an art poster that has exactly one pair of opposite sides that are parallel and two sides that are the same length. What figure is Lily's poster? So you're look at the characters. One pair of opposite sides that are parallel and two sides that are the same length. And we look at this trapezoid. Okay, one pair of opposite sides that are parallel. Here you go. And then these two sides are of equal length. We already know that's a trapezoid. Each one of these has all four sides that are equal in length. All four sides. So by the process of elimination, you can figure these out. Desmond draws a polygon that has four sides that are the same length and no right angles. That's the key right here. It has no right angles, and that would be your rhombus. That would be your rhombus. Okay, I'm trying to draw it. Okay, your rhombus does not have four right angles, but that's not a very good rhombus. Let's see, we have a picture here. Okay, this is a rhombus right here. No sides that are no right angles. no right angles, but all four sides are the same length. Okay. Now the reason it's not a square, because a square does have right angles. Okay, so sometimes it's a rhombus and sometimes it can be a square. But since they said no right angles, so they have to be the rhombus. This one right here. Okay, here's a kite caramate, and we'll look at the outside of the kite. Avoid looking at the inside. A lot of times we look at the inside and we start getting, well, this is one shape, this is one shape, this is one shape. Oh no, 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 no. Let's just look at the perimeter. Just look at the perimeter and walk it through. What is the shape of Kara's kite? Well, it's not a square, because if it were a square, all angles would have four right angles. It's not a parallelogram, because what do we know about a parallelogram? Two opposite sides that are parallel, okay, to one another, and one side that has equal length, that are of equal length, and we don't have that case here. It's not a rhombus, because we ever looked at a rhombus, because all four sides must be equal length. So it falls under quadrilateral because it has four sides. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. The last one. Ben is making cutouts to use in an art design. How many of the cutouts have the shape of a rectangle? So now we have to know what a rectangle is. Okay, so we know it cannot be a rhombus. We know, and a trapezoid. Rhombus, trapezoids. This one, this one, this one, this one. What's left over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I was just eliminating the ones that I know do not have the features or the characteristics of a rectangle. All four right angles, two opposite pairs that are parallel, four sides. So you only have 5 to use. And again, the process of elimination will get you through this. But you need to know your stuff. You have to have the definitions for each one of these shapes, what they consist of, what they look like, what are their features, what are their characteristics. So it's very important that the notes you took earlier, that you wrote them down, you have them to reference them, and always go back and reference them. Okay, this is something new that you're learning, and it's okay to look back at it. Okay? Well, thank you so much for your attention. Good luck on your quiz this afternoon. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me during our live sessions.